What's up, guys? This is Heist. We're playing Railroads Online again today with my buddy Con. And today, after the last episode, we didn't really make any profit, so we bought some more cars, and we're gonna make it happen today.
How's it going, sir? How are you
doing well. I'm excited.
Right,
we got a couple more hoppers back there.
Yeah, we got the Telegram offices now, or Telegraph.
Oh, that's right. The Telegram. Yes.
It's Telegraph.
Telegraph.
It's only a gram when a guy on a horse picks up the message. That's what, that's the...
Precisely. Well, I'm going to get us going here, because I'm assuming we're not hanging out at the freight depot. But yeah, I saw you did that whole episode about the telegraph houses. That was well put together, and I wasn't invited.
Well, you could have joined. I was actually curious when I was going through the how much do you know about Telegraph?
I really do not know anything about Telegraph. Your video is actually really helpful for me because you started to talk about semaphores, and I was like, no, Con, that's what early signals were called for the... Oh, wait, no, I don't know this.
Yeah, no, it was actually apparently they'd have towers and stuff, and they'd flag different flags in different positions, and that would determine which letter it was, and people with telescopes would look at the tower and relay the message, kind of like Lord of the Rings style.
I was gonna say, the beacons of Ministereth are lit. Gondor calls for aid.
Surprisingly enough, I'll give you one guess as to what the problem with that is.
It doesn't work at night.
It doesn't work at night, and it doesn't work in bad weather. So
oh yeah.
They were like, well, this kind of sucks. And then telegrams came along, or telegraphs, and they were like, wow, we can send faster than train communications. And that was the biggest thing.
They were a really, really helpful thing for the railroad, too, because that meant that you could communicate things from a central location and let you know other status of trains without any other method. Yeah.
Track schedules in one central location and make adjustments as needed, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm going to do something cool. I'm going to warp to the sawmill.
Bye, Con. Con's gone.
Because I can warp here and now set your switches, you see.
That's actually genius. I knew that it was going to be cool. I knew it was going to be cool, and I knew it was going to be really helpful like that. But I didn't, you doing that right now just feels wrong. I've played this game for so long without it that's just totally neat.
Yeah, it's actually kind of awesome. Okay, I think these are actually set, because I'm pretty sure I came back from the telegraph office on the wood line. Anyway, you're gonna come through there, you're gonna come here, you're gonna go there, then you're gonna turn left. Yeah, you'll be good. All right, so I'll just wait here and get picked up again.
All right. Well, we're getting pretty close, coming around the big sweeping right-hander.
Another part of this update, I can see you on the map, and I see your name. So
that is nifty. You know where I am.
And I know exactly where you are. I can see your arrow getting close. It's actually really cool. Oh, now I can hear you. Okay, well. Yep, no, crossing. Did you hit a crossing?
No, I was just calling the station stop. Yeah, you're not on my train, but, anytime you approach a timetabled station location on the Grand, or in this case, on the Crap, you're supposed to blow one long whistle to ask your conductor or brakeman, what are we doing here? And then 2 is we're going to run through, and 3 is we're going to stop. And seeing as we're going to the lumber camp to pick up some cordwood, I blew 2 saying, no, we're not stopping. I'm going to pick you up on the fly, and we're going to keep running.
How far away from the station would you have to be for that, though? What's considered...
On the Rio Grande, they had actual, station signs that were out there for the location where you'd make that call. And they were usually placed in such a place it was straight track or you had visibility back, because obviously you need to be able to look back and see your conductor. And so they had those signs out so you knew what to do. But, usually they're maybe a mile out, mile and a half, 2 miles. It just depended on the speed.
A brakeman, or let's see, you got your brakeman, your engineer, your conductor, right? And
yep.
If you're a brakeman on the crew, are you also... should you also have the train schedule for the day memorized, or is are you really just zero responsibility? You're stopping when people tell you to stop?
You may not need to have it memorized, but you definitely want to be briefed and understand what we're planning on doing, because you got to know in advance when you're going to stop, because he may not be able to shout over all the cars. So
I guess the more important question, as a brakeman when you're going to be tying brakes throughout the whole route without someone having to give you specific instruction, or do you literally
precisely? Precisely.
You already know.
For every member of the train crew, knowing the territory and the railroad you're going to run over is critically important, to such a point that it is really heavily regulated at this point, because a lot of accidents have happened because the engineer wasn't familiar with the route, or the conductor wasn't familiar with the route, and then, surprise curve, and then they fall off. like happened up in Seattle in 2017 on the chunk of railroad that I used to work for, actually. But
okay,
anyway.
So I know you're a mechanical engineer in real life, right?
Yes.
But for me, like, and this is just my impression. I've never worked on a train, so I might be completely wrong. So, but to me, right, like I worked in factories, right, automotive factories, and to me, the conductor seems like management that you don't want to have to deal with. That's just I always just get that impression whenever you talk about conductors, that they're just like the manager that's always like looking over your shoulder and making sure you're putting the bolt in the right spot on the car. You know what I mean? Like that's
right. It's not quite that bad. Usually there's a little bit more camaraderie between the engineer and the fireman and the conductor and everything. But definitely some conductors could be pretty particular and be very particular about scheduling and the time of the train and everything. So there definitely is a little aspect to that, but because at the end of the day, it's the conductor's train. But the biggest trope is like, well, it's your train, but it's my engine as the engineer, and then they butt heads and stuff and all that fun stuff.
So then they just disconnect the train, and the one engine goes the one way, and the train goes.
Yeah,
the
we're
other.
gonna leave you in the desert to die, sir.
Yeah, going part ways and. I had another thought too the other day when we were talking about this. I know you're running the Polar Express, which is cool. That's exciting stuff. But I was thinking about something because the boiler is hot, obviously,
Yes.
and then it's insulated.
Yes.
And the insulation protects the hot water from killing people. But
Important.
what
Yep.
do they do about tenders freezing in the winter?
Oh, this is a good question that a lot of people have asked, and I realize
like it would even if you put insulation on it, it wouldn't matter. Eventually, the insulation, even if you had the thickest insulation in the world, eventually
it would come to ambient,
it would cool down, and it would So how do you deal with that? You're just pump hot water into the tender or something, or
hot water by steam, actually. Some tenders actually had tank heaters, particularly in an oil burner, where they would actually heat the oil and also the water if need be. But in our case,
have a burner in the tank, and
it's just a steam line that either dumps in, or it has a coil that actually exchanges heat with everything going on in the tender. That's more common for specifically the oil bunker, though. For the tender tank itself, you can close the overflow pipe in the injector, and when you start to prime the injector, it can't run out the overflow, so it backfeeds down the suction line from the tender. And so you can send steam from the injector into the tender, and you can prevent the water from freezing that way.
That's literally what they would do. Like
That's literally what they do. Blow the injector back in the tank. Yeah.
So every steam engine, you didn't have to have like a retrofitted steam engine for this. Any steam engine with an injector could just backfeed it, and boom, done. Problem solved.
Yeah. And any steam engine is set up to do that.
So what happens if your engine is stored outside and the tank's frozen, like because you left it for 2 days? So you're just that's it.
Well.
Game
So
over?
I mean, you wouldn't just leave the engine completely unattended, outside for a couple days.
If it was cold out.
If it was cold out, right? I mean, if you had to, you'd be at a shop or something, or nearby a shop, and you'd tend to drain the tender tank rather than leave it sit if you had to have it sit for a bit.
And it has drain lines on it, like you can just open up and.
You just unhook the hoses between the engine and the tender and just let it.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, that would. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just winterize it. You just drain it if it had to sit outside for a long time. Either that or you find a way to heat it up, right? I mean, at the end of the day, everyone knows how to break ice or remove ice, apply heat or apply hammer. So
right. And modern solutions, you guys, same thing? You don't have a modern solution for this? You don't put electric heaters in your tenders?
No, we just blow the injector back if we need to. And usually the injector blows back a little bit because no valve seat is perfect except for the first time you fire things up and everything's happy and wonderful and shiny. So usually the injectors leak back into the tank a little bit anyways. You'll actually hear it when you're sitting on the engine of a little bit more worn-in engine where the tanks will kind of tick, the tank hoses between the engine and tender will tick as, they'll heat up and contract and everything. And that usually keeps the tender just all set up.
And so when you guys are like, when you're filling, like you guys obviously have a round table at your shop, so you can park them inside a roundhouse and, boom, done. You can, you're good to go. But when you're filling them with water in the winter, you have a water tower, which is insulated, but I'm assuming that gets frozen too. Then,
that has a tank heater built into it.
It does have a tank heater, like just an electric. Okay.
Yes, just an electric heat exchanger. And a lot of tanks on the railroad, as electricity became a thing, definitely had tank heaters and everything in them to keep them going that way, because otherwise you can't get water.
Before electricity, what? They just had a metal bottom and a guy lighting a fire below it? Like, is it...
You know, I'm not actually 100% certain in that era, so I'm going to let my commenters who know a lot more about the details of early railroading
That's the only solution they would have had, right? Some guy lights a fire. I mean,
I'm sure it was an MOW type task where maintenance away who's responsible for the track. They have a structures department as well, and I'm sure whoever is in charge of the structures would have to go out on the handcar, or later the Fairmont speeders, the little gas engine speeders that go terrifyingly fast, and zip to each water tower location, pulling ahead. And then they would inspect the tower and do what they need to do to make sure that the tower's got free water in it, which very likely meant lighting a fire or something like that.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I mean, you know, I live in Canada. Obviously, we had...
it's cold up there, I've heard.
Yeah, it's cold. We've had some snow for a bit. We had, like, freezing rain the other day, and that's what I was... Like, we had, like, an inch of freezing rain or whatever, so everything gets coated in this layer of ice.
Oh, jeez.
Right? That's what I was thinking about. I'm like, holy cow, the tender would freeze. And I was like, how would they... Like, there's no way they wouldn't, you know... You can't avoid, you know, cold air making
Precisely.
Your tender cold. And
thermodynamics comes for us all.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
one neat thing...
question.
Yeah, one neat thing on modern locomotives, on diesel locomotives, is how they deal with it too, because a diesel locomotive takes...
Water, though. Why would they... Like,
they have water. They have water. That's their coolant. They don't use antifreeze. They use coolant. They just use water.
Straight water in the rads.
Yeah, straight water in the radiator. A lot of people will add a borate like treatment and chemical to it as well, which is what BNSF, the railroad I used to work for, did.
Why would they use straight water when modern refrigerant chemicals are better heat exchangers?
Hundreds and hundreds of gallons. You know how expensive it is to put like 600 gallons of water, which is, you know, several thousand liters of water, into an engine and then multiply it by the 8,500 locomotives you own?
Right.
That much antifreeze would be extremely expensive, and water's plentiful and everywhere. And so they use water, and the way that they get around the problem is they have a special valve called a guru valve put in, and it's just a simple temperature-operated valve. If it gets below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 degrees Celsius-ish, getting close to freezing, right? If you get below that, the valve pops open, and it drains all the water out of the locomotive.
You're good.
Okay. And that always provided an interesting experience up in Seattle, because it was decently cold at our diesel shop, but we didn't have it as bad as Northtown did in Minneapolis, where it's really cold. And the guys, like Canada cold.
Continue.
The guys would, they would basically stick a penny in the valve, because the valve stem stuck out a little bit, just far enough that you could stick an American penny in between the edge of the valve stem and the body, and it would hold it open. And so, or hold it shut, rather. And so they would stick the penny in after they finished filling the engine with water in the shop, get it up and go, you know, take it outside and fire it up right away. Make sure that it doesn't dump the water everywhere, you know, make sure the penny didn't fall out or something. And then
it was crazy to me that modern diesels are still using water cool. I mean, it makes sense when you talk about the fluid, the amount of fluid, but it's, you know, with all the modern refrigerants, like water is a great conductor. It's a great store of heat, you know, and all that. But like, there are much better materials out there.
Right. It's definitely not the most ideal thing, but when you realize the scope
your
problem,
house doesn't use water, for example, right? Like,
yeah.
And even like modern refrigerants now, I know we got away from the Freon days and all that, but I think it's like R134 is still the common standard, I believe, that's tossed around.
There's R134, and then some manufacturers are going to a new one that I can't remember, because I remember being surprised that my last car, my Honda Civic, ended up having a different refrigerant in it because the AC went out on it. It's like, okay, well, just charge it back up.
Well, and I know with a modern car, you can, if you're low on rad fluid, you need an absolute emergency, like don't do this unless you absolutely have. You can use distilled water or really any fluid in the rad, but I mean ideally distilled water, and it will still function and act as a coolant, and your car will still, you know, accept that. But obviously in colder climates,
make sure you've got antifreeze.
Yeah, it's like a 1 to 50 ratio actually. If it's like rad fluid to water or whatever.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've definitely I had to do a flush on my GTO a couple months back because I was having some issues with the radiator, and it turns out that the brand new thermostat that I bought was just bad. So
Nice.
shocker. So I ended up, flushing things out because I was worried I had something clogged. But yeah, you drive around with distilled water in the car for a little bit, and then you put antifreeze back in it.
Yeah, it's not too big a deal. I had to on my car. I noticed the rad level was going down. Then I was like, I don't understand why the rad fluid level is going down. So I had them pressurize the rad system. So they went through all the hose clamps and clamped them all, and then they basically put like 20 psi of pressure into the system, and they cap it, and they see where how much the pressure drops, and that tells them if there's a leak somewhere.
The squeeze, yeah, we do that sort of thing on the steam engines very frequently for maintenance, actually.
Yeah, so anyway, there was no leak, but, somehow I lost rad fluid. I mean, they probably tightened a clamp that was leaking. And
probably,
it stopped leaking, because they're all just little, terrible hose clamps. There's nothing really to it. So.
Right.
Well, yeah, always have rad fluid in your car. Bad news when stuff overheats in hot engines. What a
yeah, shocker. No, I remember I didn't realize the extreme importance of making sure there's no air in the system and getting a good prime on the system and make sure that it's totally water or steam space.
Pumps don't pump air. What a shocker.
Yeah, it turns out two-phase flow doesn't work. You can't have gas and liquid, right?
Yeah, one is compressible, one isn't.
And watching
one is a problem.
Watching the temp gauge on the GTO when I was doing the first test drive after flushing the radiator, and watching it hit the air pocket and watching the temp gauge go from 160 to 300 in just an instant was just
yeah.
You look down and it's wait, that's really hot. Okay, we're done. We're gonna turn the engine off now.
Wait up for me. I'm gonna take Betsy and go to the smelter with you.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like we can leave Betsy at the smelter for now.
Okay. New assignment. Congrats, Betsy.
Yeah, well, Betsy. Oh God, no wood. We're gonna have to put a log station.
We need some firewood figured out.
Yeah, I'll put a log station at the smelter for Betsy. But anyway, my thought is if we leave Betsy at the smelter, right? We can just drop off the cordwood, and then one of us can keep going to the iron mine, and then get help from the helper engine to get up there.
Gotcha.
And the other person can drop actually unload the cordwood using Betsy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna beat you to the sawmill or not. I can see you going down. You look like you're
much
closer than I am.
Coming to the sawmill decently. I'm actually looking up in my rulebook to see what the whistle command is, because we never use it at the museum because we never have a meet, but we can use the appropriate, hey, I'm approaching the meeting point whistle signal to let each other know where we are.
One thing I like about these telegraph offices is it really allows you to do stuff like this a lot easier. Just jump back,
you're just now over there and you can do that. And maybe when my game crashes 15 times in a row, I'll just be able to teleport instead of running across the iron mine. It did not. Thankfully.
Okay, you made a noise like it crashed.
Well, I'm just still frustrated at the last not the last episode. That was now, I don't know, 2 episodes ago. It's fine.
Well, I have a problem is I have an episode 10.5 now.
You do, yeah.
It ruined the flow. So now I don't know what episode we're on anymore.
It's confusing. Yeah. For the viewers, we film these decently ahead in advance because I've got lots of real train stuff to do, and it takes a lot of time, and I don't have the luxury of just doing YouTube like Con does yet. So it can be difficult to make things happen.
Luxury,
pain in existence. Yeah. Okay, I've got my whistle signal card up.
Why is my whistle so pathetic? Why is my whistle capped at 18% when I pull it?
Oh, because you don't have any boiler pressure, friend.
I don't have any boiler pressure. Well, now, that is exciting.
That would indeed do it. All right, so it's long, short. Long, short is your approaching
anyway. I have no boiler pressure. Well, I'm going down in reverse, but it doesn't matter because we're going to get to the smelter anyway. You're ahead of me, I think.
Yes, but I'm realizing I need to throw the switch at this Y, and I've got 6 cars of cordwood shoving me.
Yeah, well, you're not gonna stop.
No,
we're actually going on a head-on collision right now.
No, okay, well. Oh, well, you can throw switches underneath trains now, and I'm peeing in a cup. Because Montezuma is slightly no longer parallel, to the surface that is the world. But she is trying to run backwards now. That's fine.
Oh, no. Heist, we haven't gotten through a single episode without you peeing in a cup. I'm just...
without anyone peeing in a cup, actually. I don't think we've had a clean episode yet, yeah.
Well, a couple episodes ago, one of these episodes in the last few episodes, I did not derail a single train.
That's true. Actually, I think it was the last one.
There was an episode...
Or 2 episodes ago, yeah, with yeah, when you were the helper for Betsy.
Yeah,
up the way. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know, one of us is peeing in a lot of cups and one of us is not.
Well, Con, you remember the name of my last railroad, right?
Oh yeah, no, I know. I am well aware.
The good old ES&D. I have to.
Sir.
I have to.
I'm so glad you don't have model railroads in your house because I feel like 90% of it would just be them getting destroyed. You would just somehow.
It would be the Addams Family, yes, with Lionel train sets.
I thought track pieces only came in standard curves, and you're like, they did, but I didn't like them, so I made my own, and they just be these like wobbly, wonky nonsense tracks.
Yeah, I would need my own HO or SN3 MOW crew to fix things for me.
Yeah, you'd have literally like, oh my god, you could make the most hilarious if you hand laid each set of track with the ties. Like you don't actually use the standard pieces that come with it.
Dude, so god. some people do that. Coming up eventually on the channel, I've got it filmed. My buddy Norm has an incredible ON3 railroad. Oh, there you are. Oh, and you're going backwards. Okay, bye. He's got an incredible ON3 railroad, which is 1:48. So even the narrow gauge engines, like the little C classes, like the class 70 that we have, are still huge. I mean, they're, you know, a good, like foot-long engine and tender, probably bigger than that, actually. And they're really, really impressive because the gauge between the rails is, even in ON3, where it's 3-foot narrow gauge, but O scale, it's like 1.25 or 1.5 inches. So they're pretty big models.
How do you set this up? This has to be outside then, right?
No, this is in his basement, dude. And I'm so excited to get this video out.
Massive,
his whole basement is a giant railroad. And I mean, he's really got about as small of a basement as you'd want to do ON3 in because he needs so much space to build it because the curves are so huge.
How big is his basement, do you think?
It's probably 600 or 700 square feet, probably, if I had to guess.
Okay.
So it's a pretty decent size, right?
So like 20 by 30 feet or something
yeah,
like that.
somewhere in that order. It's a little bit narrower, so it's probably like 15 by 30 or something. But anyway, he hand-laid all of his track. Every single tie, the rail individually, spiked by hand like it's the real thing. He doesn't have spikes in every single tie because you don't need to with that stuff. But he laid everything in the switches. He hand-built each of the switches. It's incredible, and I'm excited to get that video out, but I have another model railroad video to get out in front of that, and I'm like 20 real-life videos deep to edit, so I've got plenty of stuff to get through in the coming months.
Yeah, welcome to the problem. It's crazy, since we started doing railroads again, I've been so far ahead on recordings compared to normal, and yet somehow I'm still slow about putting out videos, so it's...
Yeah, that is the fun game. Find time to edit, find time to make it, put it together, and then titles and thumbnails, man.
You are barreling in here quick.
We are scooting. I've still got it at 100, because, you know.
Oh, yeah, I have it at 20%.
Live fast, die hard, right?
Well, I got to go ahead of you on the line and go onto that little, like, kicker shunt thing we built at the end.
Right. Yeah, the head shunt.
Split your train in half.
Right.
And, I mean, we could Dutch drop the coal ones.
I think I'm just going to drop them on the main before I get into the siding.
Oh, before you even go in, and then you just run around and pick them up. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I have to get out of your way so you can get on the cordwood cars to do the switching anyway.
I'll push the cordwood cars in. I can probably unload them. I got to run around the Betsy, actually, because Betsy's got to be in front of them.
That's true, yeah.
I realized Betsy's in the complete wrong direction for all this. But anyway,
it's fine. It's fine. You can just run backwards like this.
Engine. Like, let's be real. That's
fine. It doesn't care about reverse or forward, so.
The cool thing is if you keep heading on to the coal mine, I will teleport to the helper station when you get there.
Oh, dude. This is next level. This is actually such a good quality of life thing. I didn't even realize it was going to be this impactful.
Yeah, well, I put a telegraph station at the
helper station. Yeah.
Yeah, at the helper station. So we can just warp there and then pick you up and keep going, and then come back and finish whatever needs to be done at the smelter. While we're here, while I'm here, I might throw down an engine shed off that turntable as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just try and keep you. I mean, I could keep you updated, or you could look at the map and know exactly where I am. But we'll just communicate and kind of see where we're at. And if you got time to slap down an engine house, that would be sweet. We're getting stuff done.
I feel like it's only a matter of a few minutes or like a few updates before we end up seeing actual track lines on the map. I feel like we're getting close there. You know, we got player names and stuff.
I would love to see that. I would really love to see that. There used to be the website Miniswerg that could do that.
Yeah, I remember that. You could upload your maps.
But it's no longer. I think Railroad Studio does that function now, so you still can do that. I'm pretty sure someone in the comments, actually probably someone, I mean 15,000 people in the comments will probably correct me. Hi. I'm braking as hard as I can. God, go. It's just like, wait, he's not accelerating.
I wasn't on the reg for a bit there.
It's fine. Life's hard. But I think those tools are out there, but having that integrated into the game is going to be so nice.
Yeah,
just the quality of life. I mean, it's the little things. We all get excited about new engines and new content like that, but the little quality of life stuff and the features like that, I mean, I had no idea this was going to be this impactful, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of useful. It is useful to have them at all the industries you connect up to. And like, you know, if we have a big switch hub somewhere in the middle of nowhere, just throw a telegram station or telegram. I keep calling them telegrams.
The telegram. Candygram for Mongo.
No, like if we have a big shunt yard like in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason, you just throw a telegraph station there and you can, you know, show up, grab your stuff, and leave, right?
Right, exactly. All right, I'm letting my train coast, so if it hits you, it's its fault, not mine.
Yeah, no, that's
how that works. Yeah.
Well, you got to disconnect your back ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, gotcha.
They're braked and back on my engine, and I'm gonna hop back in.
I'm gonna throw this switch and then throw it back.
Right. Yeah.
So that.
Oh, I missed the platforming experience, and I fell between the first two cars, and I probably would have been run over by the train, but it's fine.
Oh no, I jumped off my train and I had to move 33 cars and I had it at full throttle. Oh no, I couldn't get back on.
It was 33 cars and I had it in notch 8, full power.
Notch 8. Oh no.
Oh no, wait a minute.
I didn't tie the brakes.
We didn't watch that movie the other night in Discord. That didn't happen.
All right, sir. You clearly
overshot. I forgot what I was doing. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta run around. No, but I gotta cut the cars off first.
Like,
where's Betsy?
Betsy was right there.
It's not there.
Betsy's
not on
right
my
here.
end, at least.
You don't see Betsy right here?
No.
What am I standing in right now?
I don't see you at all, actually. Are you in the driving you? Oh my god, you just appeared. You've just spawned into space. Betsy's gone on my end. Oh, there it is.
Oh, okay.
The new render distance. It's not 500 meters. It's 50
like
meters.
5 meters.
Oh my goodness. All right, you want to pull the pin and I'll pull ahead?
Yeah, I'll pull the pin. Sure. Nope, apparently I won't. Okay, hold on. There we go. You're good. You're disconnected.
Bye.
Sir.
Bye.
I'll throw this switch for you, too.
Oh, cool. That'd be lovely.
See how efficient this is? This is yard operation.
See, man, this is the whole point for that head shunt. It's a neat little thing.
All right, there we go.
Although, I was very critical of you in a couple episodes back, and I said that it's not shunting, it's switching. And someone corrected me that, yes, the American term for a head shunt is a drill track, which I think I mentioned once, but it's definitely a more common feature in British railroading. There goes my game. Yep, bye. Montezuma is just going at full reg now. You might want to go catch that. I mean, there is a handbrake tied on those coal hoppers, and they're pretty heavy, so it'll probably it's probably fine.
Remember how you were like, I had it in notch 8. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it was 0 cars. I had it in notch 8, full power.
Yeah, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. Whether or not it derails is gonna be the question. Nope, it looks like it's. Oh, it plowed through one. Oh, it knocked one completely off the track.
Well, I am sad that I did not get to witness this peak-up moment.
Yeah,
but
one is completely upside down, and it is gaining speed with the other two.
Oh god, it was the first break.
It actually is not enough braking power. It is back up to full speed.
Do you need to go in the telegraph house, or you just click?
You just press M.
Oh my god, look at that! That's and then you that's neat.
Then you come out from the
but how does
you run to the hill and grab it? Can you grab it?
Yeah, hopefully. I came to the smelter. Maybe I should go to the sawmill.
Actually, you have to pick up this extra coal car that we have at the smelter anyway.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Zuma is zooming.
Yeah, it picked up speed. It didn't care. I'm gonna keep pushing in these cordwood cars. You have to come in here anyway. We totally miscalculated. We forgot we had an extra smelter car here.
Right. Okay, I'm on the Zuma. I'm gonna tie some brakes.
Yeah,
Or tie a brake.
That was an adventure.
That's fine.
Yeah. No. Wow. That was amazing. I can't believe
the cups have been peed in. There we go. Okay.
Well, the game crashing. I mean, that's like kind of getting raptured, basically.
Right.
Right. When you're like, I don't know if you blame the person on that one necessarily.
So a couple episodes ago, when we had the spectacular octupling of the hill, and we had the many peak-up moments, I kept tally. And I put it in the edit. I put a tally of all the peak-ups and added little sound effects. It was something like a total of 14, which was hilarious. 14 or 15. But the ones that were unexplainable by either you or me, like physics doing things, I just blamed those on QA. So we can we can blame the crash of the game on QA. I think that's fair.
All right, I'm coming in to the smelter here. You've gotta come in anyway. So I'll park myself on one of the bypass shunt lines.
Sure.
Also, I think I call it shunting because I'm Canadian, and like the whole British influence Canadian thing. Like we still spell color with a U.
Well, it's
and, like,
strange and foreign to me,
has
literally.
a U as well.
So the interesting thing is, I asked folks that on my channel because I was curious, because I didn't know Canadian railroading really. That's unfamiliar to me. I knew that some of our railroads go up there and some of your railroads come down here. And they did say that almost all of the terms are the American terms. So actual Canadian railroading, they do use switching, but I can see where, like, linguistically you're coming from with that. That's interesting.
So here's the real story.
Oh my Jesus.
Well,
at least this time the reg's not on. I crashed again.
Remember, you got a car flipped over on the side of the railroad. You got to pick up.
I'll pick it up as soon as I get back in the game again.
Yeah, but no. Interestingly enough, my dad is European, and so of German descent actually. So I wonder and he's the one who introduced me to railroading at a young age. So I wonder if shunting is like, I just always remember it being called shunting. So I wonder if that's
probably where it comes from. That makes sense because European thing, that would be what the Germans would call it, I would assume, because British English and all that. That makes sense.
I definitely am not trying to park 6 cordwood cars on a turntable. That's definitely not what's happening right
now. I don't think they'll fit, sir.
You're right. I put the reg on Betsy in reverse to try and slow this down, to try and actually like go in reverse. It's still going forward. I gotta throw this switch.
Okay, I would have been. Oh my God! I teleported to my desktop. That's what happened.
Wait, are you dead?
I teleported to the smelter in the instant. I heard the desk pop up at the telegraph house, and then my game crashed. So
interesting. Is your train still moving, sir,
I assume so. I left it with the reg off, but it was coasting.
Okay. It'll probably be fine.
Don't worry, it's not under power. It's a coaster. I confirmed it.
Yeah, no, that's good. Until the throttle slips on its own.
Yeah, until the throttle magically just moves into notch 8 because we can't explain the complexity of how things actually work in a franchise film like that. But then at the same time, I left it in notch 8. The throttle didn't ghost move. In dialogue, I said that it was in notch. Yeah. One of these days, I will do
I don't think you can look for continuity though in movies.
That is fair. That is fair. Okay.
This was supposed to be a nice, quick experience. One of us could go shunting, the other one could go.
And I'm here, but where is my train? That is the question.
Full delivered, and.
I got within. I don't know what's going on. I crashed again when I got within render distance of you.
Okay.
I think we need a rehost.
Yeah, I'll save the mode.
Well, look at that. My cars are re-railed, and I'm mystically on the lead here.
The magical ghost elf.
The same one that pulls the throttle. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Anyway, I put a firewood depot here. You can divert onto the track you're on now and pick up your last hopper, and then get out of here before you cause more problems.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Yeah, I'm gonna just, I put a firewood depot here because obviously Betsy needs firewood, and it kind of makes sense to have a firewood depot here because if we do have a smelter engine that doesn't ever leave, like eventually
Yeah.
go,
Yeah,
we should probably have
that's
a
pretty
thing.
smart.
And then I'm gonna put a water tower here as well. I don't think this would need sand necessarily.
No, we got sand at the helper station. That's all we really need.
Yeah, and at the freight depot, and like I don't feel like any of these engines would need sand up 2% because that would
No.
just be
That should
That
be
would just
fine.
be ridiculous. Is this in a good spot? Is that needs to be back more? I hate the fact that you can't snap a water tower to rail.
It would be a really easy snap to do, I think, and that would be really nice. So, cue me
Just
if
'cause
you're
the
out there.
the spacing of it, you know what I mean? Like I have to always. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. I'm pretty sure even if it's over a little bit, it'll still, line up.
The
No problem,
spout's
but
got enough travel to really make the difference,
Yeah,
but
it
it would be an
does, but-
easy snap to track
Same
thing.
with the standing house would be a nice snap. All right, you just grab that. You grab your firewood depot here. I'm gonna build another switch off line just to get to the firewood depot so we could load up the firewood
Right,
depot.
right.
If we, once this actually runs out of firewood, we'd have to load up the other side.
Gotta resupply it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the days of the game where you
play with
soft locked if you ran out of firewood? Anyone? Anyone been playing Railroads Online that long? Just me?
No, because the back in the beginning, yeah.
Back in the
remember
day.
Yeah. Now
I was
it's
there
the firewood-
3,000 years ago.
Yeah, well, and originally the firewood depot had spawned empty, right? So that was the
Yeah,
issue. Now
that was
you
the
can
whole
just,
thing.
You can just place down a new firewood depot, really. You never actually have to resupply a firewood depot, but
Right. All right. Montezuma versus the 6.25% grade. I mean, I wonder.
You're not gonna do it. With
I don't
4
think
hoppers.
with 4 hoppers empty. No, actually, yeah, we proved this, didn't we? Because the
No,
hopper.
you won't even do
yeah.
it with one caboose empty, bro. Let alone 4 hoppers.
Hey,
Like, for you-
Betsy did 1 empty and the caboose by herself, so we can
But
believe.
Betsy's got like way better tractive effort. Like not actually, but like I feel like Betsy, like I don't know what the word is. Feels like it has better tractive effort. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
it's
than
just-
Montezuma. Montezuma doesn't feel
Montezuma-
like it has it. Yeah, I can dig
Yeah.
that.
Montezuma feels like it's gonna die at every corner, and Betsy's just like, "Yo, you want me to go where? Oh, okay. With
Okay,
what? Sure, no
sure,
problem.
sold. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll get right on that. Just let me know." And you're like, "Oh, cool. Thanks, Betsy. Have a nice life."
Yep, later, Betsy. Well, I'm lined into the head shunt. Oops. Brakes!
Well, don't do that.
You know, just trying to cause more confusion and delay. It's my job.
Yeah, sounds about right. Well, I wanted to try and put another switch in here, and I don't know if it's gonna let me do this. Even
Hopefully
though
you can
feels
fit
like
it in. The switches in this game are really long,
They're
which
so
is
big.
which is pretty limiting. Because
It
they don't
doesn't
need to
need
be
it-
that, and they're a really gradual switch. Which I mean, a lot of nerd gauge switches are a lot smaller and tighter than that.
Well, it would be nice if we had an option for a tighter switch. Like, I understand for mainline switches, these are super good because they're like,
Run
they're-
at faster speed and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can go super quick and whatever.
But I need
like,
my
for-
jank industrial track shenanigans switch.
Yeah, I need tight shunting yard switches where I can really just jam something in or really
Stick
trying
it
to
in
think
there.
how the
Yeah.
heck I can do this now. This can actually go to a whole another set of shunting switches. Oh my god, we could have so much.
Add
shunting
more
switches.
switches. More switches. You know,
I
from
mean,
we got like
could.
50
I
cars.
don't feel like, I don't feel like it's necessary just yet, but it is, something we can.
We're
keep for
future
later.
proofed. We're planning on it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's actually nice. It opens it up really a lot. And then I go to here, something like, I don't know, like that. That's cool stuff.
I'm at the
Good
big
enough.
spaghetti bridge.
Which one's that?
It's the one that's vaguely shaped like a question mark. It's the big steel bridge that.
That for some reason, like that didn't actually narrow it down for me.
It's the big one that's the one before the one that had to go down to make things work.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll pretend. I'll smile and nod. Perfect.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. It's the one that crosses the big canyon before we. Well, I guess that's what most of them do. Never mind. You don't get the idea, but you'll watch my POV.
I'll figure it out. Let me see. Map. Oh, you're not anywhere close to the helper depot. Okay.
Oh
you're
god,
there.
no. Yeah, you got time, bro.
All right. Well, I got this set up, so that's good. I got to turn Betsy around. So let's just Betsy should be in reverse. I don't really feel like using the turntable, so I grabbed the boys and we just picked up Betsy. You know, one guy at each corner.
The 050 came down from space and grabbed it, the giant hand from God, and just spun it.
How heavy would Betsy actually be? Do you know? Like
I don't actually know off the top of my head how much the Class B is supposed to weigh, but I would bet it's probably on the order of like 10 or 15 tons, if that.
Okay, so like me and the boys aren't gonna be just.
Actually, it's probably less than that. I was trying to mentally compare it to our gas mechanical that we have that's 8 tons, but that thing's got a way bigger frame than Betsy. It might not even be 10 tons.
Okay, so there is a chance that me and the boys could potentially just lift
the
it up.
The game lists it as just under 16,000 pounds, so 8 tons. Yeah, that's
so like me and my 15 other friends, we'll just grab it and no problem. We'll be good to go.
Got it. Everyone can
That's
lift that, you know, well,
it's such a small
2,000 pounds a piece. That's fine. Yeah, frames, I mean, usually like 3-4 inch thick steel. I'm at the helper depot now. I mean, I can just send it and try it, and then you can shove on the back. But
yeah, that seems smart. You know what? I'm gonna.
I'll cry train when the time comes. How's that sound?
Don't worry, I'm already here.
Oh, you're already here? Oh, okay.
Oh God, he's gonna do
it. We're gonna send it. Oh, that's a cute
little
little telegraph office next to the table. I like it. I like it that we can like feel. It feels more railroady. There's more buildings. It's not just tracks and trees.
I agree. We need maintenance buildings. That's the next big thing.
Yeah, a real shop.
This thing's not even fired up yet. It's cold. It is cold.
Well, we might have to beer it back if I stall. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'm gonna fire it up and get it out there. Let's go, goat.
The goat.
Dude, this thing's a monster. It's great.
I learned from one of my commenters after posting the video where we got the goat that the Rio Grande Southern, which was the jank sad railroad of sadness, southwestern Colorado, they named their first yard goat that they bought from the DNRG. They named it the goat. So there was historical precedence for us to have the goat.
I also got a ton of comments. I noticed you did as well, because I creeped your comment section because I'm that guy.
Well, you know.
But I noticed that because we numbered our engines 1-1. Oh wow!
The Fibonacci sequence, dude.
Yes,
I love that idea.
The rest of the engine. So the next one's got to be 3.
Yeah, engine 3, and then
5, and then 8, so on and so forth, and 8.
Okay,
refresh previous numbers.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't remember Fibonacci exactly off the top of my head.
3, 5, 8, 13, 21.
Oh,
what's it after that? 34.
34. Yeah.
And then math is hard.
Yeah. No, dude, I became an engineer
45,
so that
55.
I wouldn't have to do math in my head. I could do it
55,
in Excel.
89.
Cons just showing off now. I need you to come push my butt,
We're
sir.
gonna get up to we're gonna be at engine 200 something in no time.
Pretty quick, yeah. Well, it'll be fun. Give it some flavor.
Up. I'm not shoving you. Are you kidding me? We're not shoving this. This is, excuse me.
There's steel reinforced cars.
I'm gonna go in that Telegram office right now, and I'm gonna tell management what you're doing.
Okay, fine.
I'm gonna tell them.
He wants me to shove through on these. I mean, these cars were probably steel reinforced.
We're gonna just push everything off the rail if we shove.
Yeah, we would string line or anti-string line or something very easily.
I will get in that office. I will call mom and I will tell her.
Don't tell mom. Yeah, pretty much. Oh well, I've fallen off the bridge and it was 34 cars, con. I left it notch 8.
Are you full reg? Is that full reg?
It is full reg.
Okay, well I'll catch it.
Yeah. You're just gonna have to catch the train. It's fine.
I'll do it with the live. I'll do the goat in reverse, hitch up in reverse. Slow it down. That
dude,
way, right?
dude, perfect. The counter thrust. You got to give it the counter thrust.
It'll work.
Oh my god.
All right, let me
I need to do. It's on my list for movie reactions or train thing reactions for my channel. Is Real Engineer reacts to Unstoppable, because oh my god, the amount of little things in that movie that are just so entirely wrong.
It's any movie where you have knowledge. That's the
thing. It's not just trains or
trains or planes or automobiles or anything that you know anything about. And then you watch a movie about it, and you're like, "Wow, they take a lot of shortcuts." It is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all about storytelling, and for that aspect, I mean, Unstoppables, it is an enjoyable film. But yeah, on the the accuracy of the anything is questionable. Yeah. Hang on,
Alright, you're good?
gotta get the switch. Gotta get the switch. It's fine.
Did you get it?
I did.
Okay, perfect. All right, full speed. Oh,
All
can't
right.
see anything because the engine house is in the way. That's fine.
That's fine.
No big deal. It's not like people are watching this or anything and need to get a camera angle. I don't
Right. It's fine. Oh
I
my
try
god.
and like be minimal with my camera movements because I know how shaky that gets when you're in bit rate later on and all that. So I'm always trying to be gradual and stuff with the camera movements. And then sometimes in the video I'll be editing and I'll just be like, oh, there I just had a seizure randomly. And
Right.
The camera went everywhere.
I always feel bad because I get comments here and there that people talk about how like my camera moves too much and I get the motion sick. I'm just like, I have this tick from when I didn't professionally, but I did play FPS games competitively many moons ago. And so, a lot of Twitch shooters, like I played Team Fortress 2 for a long time.
FPS in quotes, also known as TF2.
Also known as TF2, yes.
Oh.
Which, of all the competitive shooters out there, which really wasn't one, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. That was the most fun I've had playing video games. Very intense. But my camera movements
this is
used to...
the most fun you've had playing video games.
Well,
this right here.
Well, this is... I mean, that's actually pretty true, because I'm a trade nerd, and I'm not going to hide that, so...
At least if you're on a date with somebody, you got to pretend it's like the most fun date of your life, even if it's not, okay? That's what this is right now. I don't think you understand.
Connor, are we on a date? Do you need to tell me something?
Like a YouTube date, right? Like it's...
okay. A you date. Got it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll start a new website, bro. It'll be for YouTubers looking to connect with other YouTubers to make videos. There are 300
thumbnails
YouTubers
only
on the internet in your area. I'm looking for a vlogger to make other vlogs in my town. Oh, perfect. Done.
Come vlog.
Yeah, dude. Why haven't we done this yet? Honestly,
Genius idea. Yeah, that's how you make millions.
Like 5% of everything they make. That's
sold.
What it costs. We're actually doing this no problem. That's great.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer than just struggling with the Montezuma. I do have to say, speaking of YouTube comments, a lot of people said right after I said, yeah, usually they'd put the bigger engine in back and the smaller engine in front. We proceeded to do this, and we've done it again. And, I mean, they're close enough in size that it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but you were saying it's only if the bigger engine is going to pull through the smaller engine. Like, if it's going to literally rip the smaller engine.
Right. Like, if it's going to be that much of an issue, like doing 491, our big engine at the museum that runs, and, like, 346 or 20 with them behind... That's a mistake. But Montezuma and the Goat, I mean, they're so close that it's not that bad.
Right. Wow, listen to that. Did you hear that? It was like synchronous chugging for a second there.
That was funny. The chugs, they get a little weird on the client side as the popcorning happens. Like, sometimes the wheels will speed up and desync and things.
Right.
But it is really fun when you've got two engines of different driver diameter with the same number of pistons, because some engines did have 3 cylinders. It's really fun to have them working together, because if they're pretty close, it'll sound like they're working together, and then all of a sudden they'll just go completely out of sync, and then the exhaust beats go all over the place, and they walk back in and out. It's a pretty neat little phenomena that you get to experience when you're double-heading engines.
Alrighty, right when we get off this hill, you can see the slope very quickly, gradually smooths out. So I will cut my reg. You should disconnect.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that way you can keep
later.
Going. Are we lined for a bypass line? We're not. You need to line us for a bypass line.
Right.
A break.
It's fine.
Oh no, we are.
Yeah, we're lined for almost all the way lined. Not quite. That last switch isn't quite right.
Yeah. Are you gonna beat it?
I'm hoping. Else I'm going in the siding. Okay, got it. Okay, that was like perfectly timed. The engine is coasting to speed. Yeah.
Which is just we still have the cordwood to unload at the smelter, by the way, with Betsy. But
oh right. So I'm gonna just back down the hill and go into the shed, and then you load the cars up, and then I can teleport back up and put us back together here. Oh, okay. No, it's fine. It's still fine.
Wait,
Okay.
how would it...
Okay, I was inside the boiler real briefly, and I thought I was going to get left behind,
gotcha.
but I made it in.
No, I see
I'm
the
in the
train
UI.
going by empty with nobody in it. So it's,
Yeah, I'm safe now. I'm good now. It was there was
true,
almost
true on
yet again Con. It was 30 something cars, and
Right,
I left it in
Not a
Nache.
lot lately. All right, so I got this. The coal cars there, iron cars, whatever, hopper cars, no big deal. I'm gonna go turn Montezuma around on the table, because that's gotta happen. So
Yeah,
go
and you
down
get on the other end, bring
forward
back
and
in,
get on
and
the other
do
end,
the
and then back
Con iron loading trick. Teehee.
No, I'm not gonna yeet you off the mountain. You're already.
No, not that one.
Oh,
The iron loading trick, the speed load.
Oh, the speed loading? Yeah, no, that's meta for sure.
That is the meta. Yeah.
The speed load. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yep.
The throttle, that still works, right?
That's so far as I know. Yeah.
It's a lot slower doing real train operations than just having a loop everywhere.
Right.
You know.
That's the fun of it, though. It feels authentic, and you actually got to have a decent amount of fun doing that. So I really recommend everyone sets their railroad up like the real thing and have some fun with it.
All right.
He says, barreling down the 6.5% at like 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, how are you doing? Are you dead yet?
I'm not dead yet. I'm just excited at the opportunity to potentially pee in a cup once again.
Oh, perfect. The interesting thing about the engine shed helper spot is that we don't have wood. So whenever you are out of wood, we're gonna have to bring by a train with a lot of wood in the tender and just dump it.
Yeah, we should probably do a firewood depot or something there too, maybe, or maybe just ferry it down to the.
You can't fit the resupply track. That's the issue.
Oh right. So I guess we'll have to just run to the
Firewood
smelter
depot,
with
you
it, or we can, yeah, just
It would be
transload
cool if
from
there was
tender.
A smaller firewood depot where it was all one-sided, so like you could unload and.
I wish there was a
pick up.
firewood car, because that's really what the railroad would have done. When we went to the Cumbres and Toltec with the RGS 20 from the museum, they had this big event called the Victorian Iron Horse Roundup about maybe a year and a quarter, year and a half ago, something like that. And they brought out these wood-burning engines to 64-mile long Cumbres and Toltec. It's got all these big grades and hills and everything. And so the way that they prepared for it was they staged gondolas and flat cars and things all across the railroad at various sidings, and they had them chock full of firewood, and they would supply them with firewood. So rather than needing to, bring an armful, a handful, or, even like a pickup truck full or something of wood, they could put a couple cords of wood onto an actual flat, and then park that wherever they were going to need to load. And oh man, those things, it was amazing. I got to ride on one of the charters behind them, and I watched those engines run. They're beautiful engines. The real Glenbrook and the real Eureka, actually, from the game, were the two wood burners that were there. And it's like the amount of wood that they had to load every time. Like, we would go 5 miles, and there was the siding, and there was a car full of wood, and then the army of men came out from the caboose, and then they slung wood up into the tender, bucket brigade style. And I mean, it was like they probably had to refill the tender almost entirely every single time after going such a small amount of distance. So yeah, wood burners are kind of insane.
They do not have the potential energy.
They do not have the BTU density of the coal.
No,
That's
in
very
the
true.
wood. Yeah. I hear you whistling down there.
And
Now I'm struggling to keep track of actually like what we're each doing all the time because we
Right.
actually have like all sorts of stuff going on.
got
which
all
is
this
kinda funny.
efficiency in train operations.
Yeah,
I've got
we're
the
just
I've got the 2 in the shed, so I'm gonna now we'll press
work
the
back
map
up
button.
here.
Katunk, up the hill I go.
All right.
And there's the Zuma. Get me out of this
Hey,
place.
what's up?
Oh hey,
You want to hook me up here?
yeah
We
man.
gotta go forward. and then
You're
back up
still
to
in
load.
joust mode. Hang on.
Oh yeah, I guess I don't need to be in joust
You
mode. I
don't
think I have a pin on the back. I do.
You do?
But
You do?
Check the hopper there.
Oh yeah, double check it so we don't end up double pinned.
We are going to need brakemen on this, 100%.
Yeah, this is gonna shove Montezuma and show Montezuma what's up.
Hard.
Dunk. There you go.
6.5% is going to be like 300,000 pounds at least.
It's gonna be fine. It'll be fine.
It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be
Montezuma's
pushy.
just gonna learn some nasty words, and it's gonna be fine.
And then we have a 1% climb up that little bridge that we have to do, right? So that's
Yeah. It's going to get interesting.
I feel like we'll have speed enough for that. Like, it's gradual enough. We're just going to be full regging it anyway.
Yeah, it's short enough. I don't think the whole train gets on it even. Like, that's how short that grade is.
Yeah, it's
so.
true. It might not be all of it, so.
Yeah, Zuma's got 3,650 pounds of tractive effort. I need to do, people have been asking how to calculate tractive effort and how you calculate things about resistance and how many pounds the cars can pull, and I need to do a video about that still. It's definitely one to add, and it's really helpful for the game because you can actually do the math and go, okay, I know what we're gonna
tractive
pull.
effort is the amount of force at the wheels? Is that...
The amount of force the engine's capable of pulling, yeah. Basically at the wheels, I mean, it ends up being the actual force at the coupler. You can bring them back, Con.
Okay.
So 37,000 pounds for the K37, our big engine, which, you know, is 10 Montezumas. That's kind of hilarious. A little bit more than 10 Montezumas. The big engine on the ground.
Then if you think about tractive effort, like, that calculation includes the weight of the engine, the driver size.
It does not include the weight. It is just...
How would it not, though? Because that would affect the friction.
That is the adhesion, and it's a little bit separate. Tractive effort is literally just the absolute maximum force it can put down. Assuming you have the tractive effort, or assuming you have the adhesion.
100% adhesion.
Yeah, exactly.
So
keep it coming back.
That's assuming when you put down power, your wheel never slips, is basically what you're saying.
Yes, precisely. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we can load the first car first. That's
I don't know what you said. Keep coming back.
Well, you were like not quite there. You needed like another 2 feet, and then you shoved it another 40. It's fine. That'll do. Okay. Well, I guess we can show off the patented Con speed load technique.
I definitely didn't come up with this. I don't remember who told me this. I think it was maybe Dapper or something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You're totally screwing it up. Every time a ball spawns, you're below the point. So
you gotta. I'm not an expert on this.
Yeah, that point. Yeah, there you go. As soon as I like put her in full gear there, Montezuma shook a little bit, and it was
just like.
Yeah, I feel like for this I should probably be brakeman because I feel like client side.
The chance of me being physics yeeted off of the train is significant.
Yeah,
that'll do.
I know it'll do. I put on the brake a while ago, but
but the momentum is here to show you what's up.
To stop is where we're gonna stop. That's
that happens. Like,
how much money do you have? I have $620 now after running a few more trains.
I think I've got 400 something.
Okay, so I guess I can sell again then to try and get more.
Yeah, that's good by me.
Hopefully we can afford another engine soon.
Yeah,
although
hopefully.
if we do an iron run with the iron that we make from the smelter, we could probably
buy another engine. Take it ahead another car.
Yep. You said you wanted a Glenbrook.
Yeah, Glenbrook would be sweet. It's a good looking engine. It was a really good model done by my buddy Dan. And yeah, it's a neat engine, and there's a bunch of livery options for it. And it's a decent amount of power at a pretty good price. I do want to get the Mosca at some point. Everyone's excited for us to get the Mosca because it's speedy boy. It goes like 20 miles an hour instead of the 16 or 17 that the rest of the engines do. But I want to save the Mosca for when we get the coal route built, because the Mosca worked for the East Broadtop, which is a railroad that exclusively hauled coal. So it'd be good to put it through its paces.
If we build the coal route off that line right there, that little stopper line there,
we're gonna need all the engines.
It's still gonna need a helper engine to climb it. Like, it's gonna.
Yep.
Okay, we're good to go. At least we got 4 hoppers now, though. 4 hoppers is a big improvement. This is a lot.
Yeah,
more.
One felt a little silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much money did you make? Not much. It's fine.
Not much.
But four will actually do something.
Honestly, though, making money on the iron ore mine is not the issue. It's making money from the iron products.
The products, yeah. The refined stuff is the real answer. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'll tie brakes for you. I'm gonna start with your tender brake, and then.
Yeah, that's probably wise.
Would they do that on a railroad at Steep Hill? Would they actually use the tender brake as a tender brake, or would they just kind of like let the cars do most of the braking?
You could definitely use the tender brake. I mean, it just depends. Usually with the air brakes now, I mean, the way that we run, if we have enough train behind us that the weight is enough and we have enough brakes, we like to cut the driver brakes out on the engine, because you have the automatic brake and the independent brake. The automatic brake sets up the cars behind you, but it also sets up, through some valve trickery, it sets up the independent brake, which is on the engine and tender as well. And so you usually have to bail the independent off, which is a fancy way to say leave it in the released position so that you don't set up the engine and cause the cars to bunch into you, because the independent's going to set up first because that's where the start of the pipe is, right? So it has to propagate down the train as the reduction in pressure goes back. Right. And so you don't want to do that, but it can be kind of annoying to deal with. And if you've got enough train, the Rio Grande engines have what's called the mountain cock, which is a special valve that cuts out the driver brakes. And so you cut those out, and then when you set up the automatic, you don't have to do anything with the independent because it'll set up the tender just normally behind you like it's a car, and all the cars then proceeding. And so you're not dealing with the sudden massive brake application of the weight of the 491.
So without electronically controlled brake lines, like the electronic servo stuff we talked about with the modern stuff, you're always going to have that issue where it propagates from the head engine back through the train. Like your brakes are always going to apply starting at the front, working their way to the back.
Correct,
right?
Which is why you always bail off with the engine if you're really trying to be really smooth, yeah.
So there's nothing you can do about that. It's just you apply them slowly, basically, initially, to let the pressure not grab the first car right away. So everything's always gonna be under a bit of compression then.
Yep, you take the first set you take is usually the minimum reduction. And in more modern day control valve setups and more modern air brake setups, they actually have a dedicated minimum position. And so you go into that position and it sets up 5 PSI of reduction on the train across. And then when you come, further into it, then you can add however much more you want. But on the old stuff, like we have at the museum, which is still not as old as Montezuma, but getting close, you basically leave it in the reduction position, and you take about a 3 or 4, maybe 5 pound reduction to make sure all the control valves on the cars understand that they're supposed to set up. And then that's kind of your start. And then from there, you can take little bites and add more as you need to.
You can probably stop chugging.
Oh, yeah, we're back on the hill. We were just dragging really hard back there, so,
We were, because I had, believe it or not, Montezuma cannot even pull a single car with brakes. So I had to go and turn all the brakes off on that one flat section. And then just, of course, couldn't make the hill a solid 6.5%. Had to put a flat section in there just to really throw you. So if you have all these brakes on, you got to untie them and then retie them. It's perfect.
It's operational fun. When we get a bigger engine, we'll be able to just pull through it and melt the brake shoes.
Yeah, just melt the brake shoes off the engine and not care. Yeah, it'll be good. I
think in this era that the brake shoes might have actually been wood, so we may have actually set them on fire. But on the more modern stuff, it's usually an iron or composite material these days.
I actually went to Whiteface Mountain, which is by Lake Placid. And I went there once with my dad, and we drove up the mountain, and there's this it's 3,000 meters of elevation you can drive up or something, and then the actual peak is 1,400 or 4,000 something. Right?
Okay, it's a pretty big mountain. Yeah.
I think, or maybe 2,000. I don't know. Someone will look it up and fact check me. But anyway, you can drive a fair amount of height up, and it's a relatively steep road, probably 10%. And I remember coming down the road. I was young at the time, 10, 11 years old, something, maybe 12. I don't know. I don't remember
start
too
kicking
much.
brakes off there, friend.
Yeah, I'm taking them off. But I remember when we were coming down the mountain, the brakes on his car actually caught on fire. Which was
my goodness.
So we had to stop and let them cool down.
That's crazy.
Because it's he had it in a low gear, but you still have to do too much braking. And
right.
I guess they melted right through the shoes. So.
Yeah, it's interesting how little sometimes with a lot of cars the engine actually brakes you even if you're in low gear. I drive manual transmission stick shift. I'm one of the 4 Americans that does, I think. And now the entire comment section will say I do too, but
I used to as well.
Every car I've owned has been a stick, and it's amazing for me driving the GTO and then my Subaru, going back and forth between the two. The GTO, you leave it in gear, you get off the gas, and that thing falls on its face. It brakes super hard, which is nice because it's from 1968 and it's got manual drums the rest of the way around, which is just terrifying because, yeah, that's safe to stop a big car like that. Anyway.
Is your GTO big block?
There is no big block. It is just the block. Pontiac did not have big and small blocks. They just had one block, and all of the engines were the same. That's every boomer every boomer forum person. That's their favorite trivia. Is it a big block?
Was
No,
it?
it's just
It was
a block.
what, a V8 or something?
Yeah, it's a V8. It's a 400 cubic inch V8, which is about almost 6.6 liters, but the badge says 6.5, so whatever.
Right. So,
But-
so you know why it really slams on its
Lots
face
of pistons and
It's got
big
lots of
compression.
big,
Yes.
moving, heavy things with lots of compression.
Yes. Yeah. So it slows real easy versus the Subaru, which is, it's a WRX.
Yeah.
It's a 2-liter, and it's a little, opposing 4, right? Boxer engine. Neat stuff.
Yeah,
but-
I used to drive an inline 4 Mazda, which is just a vertical 4.
Yeah.
And, yeah, a 2-liter vertical 4. And
doesn't
when you let
do
off the
near
throttle,
anything that the V8 does. It's amazing how much the difference is.
But you can still smoke a V8 off the line if you know how to shift. Surprisingly enough. It
Very
makes a big
true.
difference.
Very true.
Yeah.
Gotta have this technique and the setup and everything, all that.
Yeah,
set up.
I haven't driven a standard in a while now. I have an automatic because my wife doesn't drive standard. So
Ooh, I see how it is.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the dumb hills that I'll die on. Like, I drove my buddy's
we're
car
not-
in the snow, and I
Yeah,
will
we're
never
not
drive in
even-
the snow not in a standard transmission.
We're
so.
not even married yet. I say my wife because we've been together for so long. We're engaged, but I told her, I said I want to buy a standard again. Like I want to buy a standard car again, and have a nice little, maybe a nice little 2-door summer car that's a standard. Just something that stays in the garage in the winter. It only gets run a few times in the winter, and then just comes out in the summer.
Mhm.
My neighbor has one like that. He's got a summer car. He's actually got the 1970s Trans Am.
Oh, dude.
With the old top, So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
But anyway, the thing's hilarious because when he fires it up every spring, it rattles the windows of like the house near like my house because
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah, they're loud. Yeah, I fire up the
loud.
GTO, and everyone's aware. Yeah. It's
But anyway, so my fiance said I'm not allowed to buy a sports car until we get married. So that's where my life is at.
okay, so the wedding's tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, the wedding's tomorrow. Yeah. Exactly. The wedding's tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna get a sports car, and
There
wedding
you
will be
go.
$10. Sports car will be $50,000. Normal things.
Yeah, as you do. It's fine.
I have priorities, right?
Yeah, you gotta have it. What was there was a guy that worked for Disney by the name of Ward Kimball, who was big into trains and did a lot of the animations and train stuff for Disney. Really cool dude. And he's famously quoted as saying, "He who dies with the most toys wins," I believe.
Yeah.
So whether that be, the train stuff, the model trains, the real trains, the cars, or what have you, I mean,
You just have to find a hobby that your wife deals as acceptable. That's the, like, for me, it's I have like remote control things, and I have a lot of remote control things. I have a whole room in my house dedicated to remote control things where I've built like a track up, right? So it's like that's an acceptable level of spending, in her eyes, and that's all you got to go for. It's just what's the acceptable. And I know every like boomer dad with this like cargo shorts on right now is like, oh yeah, like it's like really like anyway.
Dude, too real,
Yeah.
with my ex, she was very good about these sorts of things, because it'd be like, oh, I see a shiny guitar, and it was like, okay, what's the reasoning? Does it make sense? Can you financially do it? Okay, do it. Don't care. Like, oh, okay. Nope. Sold. Awesome. This is amazing. I wasn't expecting this to go this easily. But, because, how all of us boys and our toys are. So.
All right, I think you're lined in to smoke the back of the cordwood train.
Right. Oh, look at your switch there. That's
Yeah, I
neat.
added an extra switch there. Somehow I managed to fit it in. So
Oh, I am lined to nail the cordwood cars with a vengeance.
Oh yeah, you might want to stop.
Working on it. Braking.
You will eventually stop.
Braking. Dunk. And
Perfect.
Betsy disappeared the second I dunked.
Oh, that's
so
good. Crash imminent is what you're thinking?
That's what I'm thinking. I think my game's gonna be mad.
Okay, so we can back you up and bring you straight down the unload line, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I think that probably makes the most
and
sense.
then we can just push you back on the empty line next to Betsy, and
yeah,
need
and
to
then grab the
store-
cordwood cars.
we need to store those smelter cars. We need you to run around.
Need more
actually.
yard tracks.
You need to push them into one of these sidings, so we can just store them on one of these sidings.
Oh, that's a good idea. And work
Because we don't
from
really
that
need
end.
them in the way of the, like, these 3 lanes are really good to have for the unloading, loading cordwood management stuff,
I
And
agree.
having them in the other side is a really bad idea.
Yeah, so we can leave them on the unload track.
Yeah, then you run around, grab them from the front or from the back.
Although
push
all of
them.
our runarounds are plugged at the moment because despite Betsy not being there on my end, I can assume that Betsy's still there. So Betsy will have to get out of the way. But
Betsy's behind
oh, look, there she is. Betsy's back.
Yeah, she's on the
Poof.
cordwood cars. You're good. You got a runaround open.
Wait, she's on the cordwood cars?
Yeah, why, do you see her here?
Oh, no, she's on the second track.
Oh, no, she's not. There's nothing
Oh,
there.
boy.
She's over-
Yeah,
she's
we're
attached to the cordwoods.
we are firmly confused on the client side of Railroads Online today.
That's good. That's exciting. I can't wait to see the cordwood pile just completely disappear as soon as we unload this iron. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it's just gonna go
I'm
poof.
just gonna let you stop completely so we don't lose
I'm
this.
working on it.
All right, we're good. That's 2. That's 3. That's gonna go in. Perfect. All right,
Taking
you're
it
good.
ahead
Move.
easy. I'm gonna just try and keep this light speed here.
You're good. Yeah, only the last car. Perfect.
How much?
Crap
You're gonna have to see how many
railroads,
dollars
man.
you
We are
have.
unloading balls of crap. It looks like.
Yeah, we are
Our
unloading
big
the crap.
Crap pile.
We've got
All right,
balls
you're
of
good.
crap in our piles of crap, and you know it's fine.
Yeah, so if you back up now and just park these and then do the old runaround trick, I'll start working on the old Betsy unload
All right,
trick. Might as well
unhitch
pop
me
the
and I'll
tape here in case you, yeah, I'll unhitch.
unhitch me and tie a brake.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
Betsy
come-
just teleported. Betsy's on the cordwood now.
All right, I'm gonna pop a save just in case.
I
the
think
world-
that's wise. I think that's
Yeah.
real smart because I think my game is not long for this world.
All right, I'm gonna unhitch 3 cordwood cars and do the old Betsy push technique. Once you get out of the way here. See, that's why these 3 lanes have to always be open. We can't use them as storage lanes because you really need the runaround space to do
Yep.
all this
For sure.
management stuff. I love it though. It's so great. Oh, I have no fuel in Betsy again. Oh, I'm actually out of fuel. Betsy has no wood either. Good thing I built that wood depot. Oh my goodness. We definitely need an 060 down here. Betsy struggles with this kind of
Right. It's heavy.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that like the silliest thing in Railroads Online for me is that the cordwood cars are called cordwood cars and they haul cordwood, but you can't use it as fuel for the engines directly because all cordwood is just cords of wood. A cord of wood is just a measurement of how much wood there is. So it's all just firewood, just, you know, bundled up. And a cord,
Yeah, you just
I want to
throw it
say
in.
it's like 4 feet wide, 4 feet high, and 8 feet long is what they define a cord as because as we've talked about a couple times, here in America, we don't like to
But
make
it's just
any
just a
unit of measurement that makes sense.
Like it's just a pile of logs bundled together. Like there's not actually a like they don't care about the weight or the volume.
No,
of
it's
it, right?
literally just the exterior dimensions of the pile of wood,
Log.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually neatly stacked. I don't think it's just like a dumb pile, but yeah, it's
Right.
kind of ridiculous that that's the way it works. Okay, there we go. We are pinned. Okay. Well, I'm bringing the Montezuma back, and I'll shove these things into the hole here. We
Yeah.
don't-
What a weird. This setup feels really cool.
It's neat to work it with a couple engines too. The fact that we
Yeah.
have 2 trains here, that I didn't realize the fun we were going to be able to have switching. This is cool.
Yeah. So now unload this guy. Perfect. Get more cordwood. Get some of this iron production going. The
Okay, I'm
nice
just
thing about
gonna
the iron mine is
slam
we'll
it
be able to just
forward.
sit here for a couple seconds and see how much it actually generates because it'll be super quick. Like it's not gonna.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how much is there so we can see if we can try and move some loads up the 2% next time. Cause boy
Yeah.
howdy, something tells me Montezuma's not gonna have fun with that.
Oh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news too. Betsy's gonna stay down here, so
So we're gonna need to, I don't know, we're gonna have to octuple the 2% or something.
or might have to just bring the 060 back from the helper for a day and then send her back to its isolation. cabin.
Reassigned it. New job.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know yet.
'Kay.
Oh, look at you pushing engines over there. That's just nice.
that.
You're pushing.
Yeah, pushing through
Siding.
through the link and the pilot because that's it's fine. It's not sketch at all.
So if you have a completely flat, I mean, I know completely flat doesn't really ever exist in real life unless
Right.
you're out like the prairies somewhere. But if you have a completely flat shunt yard, is there actually a requirement that you don't have to tie all the brakes? on
Oh
the
yeah,
engine?
yeah. Usually it's like something like maybe even 40%. Like you don't have to.
And like what, 40% just spread out, or is it like 40% on the ends?
You
Or,
try and do
like, whatever?
40% on like one end, so it's easier to untie next time, and because you don't want to leave anyone guessing what handbrake is set or not, because either they have to inspect every single car and check every single handbrake, or they knock them off until they get to the last one and knock the last one off, and then they know they're good. So you don't want to have one mixed in there, because you'll start sliding the wheels if you have the handbrake tied and you start using air brakes on top of it.
And then there's no risk of like a coupling failing, I guess, and like those getting broken, you know, like it's
not while it's sitting stationary. No,
like there's not enough force ever, so it'll just kind of just chill.
Yeah, you could definitely pull knuckles apart and have a bad time there, but only when, you know, while pulling or moving, you know. Okay, you're lined up. Gonna ride the, okay, I'm gonna ride the water tank. I'm gonna ride inside the seizure water tank instead of on the pilot board. I was trying to climb on there, but I guess they don't have collision. It's fine. Oh, this has already got a dunk.
Doesn't matter, I dunked enough.
We're
good.
Yep, come on. Beep. Clunk. All right, back him up.
We're trying.
Check the brake. That's off. Check this brake. That brake's. Did you leave these unsecured, Con?
I might have been asking that question for a friend about.
Well, you know, it's fine. It's it's actually like the one thing that I've actually seen the FRA fine people for in person is for leaving equipment unsecured properly. The FRA being the Federal Railroad Administration of the United States. They're the regulator and the body for that. But usually it's like, okay, well, they'll find the railroad or the shop or the whatever. But some stuff, they will find the individual person. And it's like, no, you didn't tie down the brakes right. We're going to slap you with a $10,000 fine now, individually.
Okay, so, hold on a minute. How does this work? Montezuma's in the right direction to go back to the freight depot with the cordwood, because we're going to take the cars back empty.
Right.
So I have to run around with Betsy on the cordwood cars, right? To get Betsy into...
You got to go to the head shunt, right? Drill track.
Right, so I got to run around these cars, bring the empties to the head shunt, and then you back out behind the empties, hook up to them, and drive off.
Yeah, we could do that, or we could just put the Montezuma on in the lanes over here.
Right, bring Montezuma up into the head shunt, and then just back it all out.
I gotta be on the head end, so I could be on the main. Yeah, no, I'll just go on the main, and then you run around the cordwood cars, and then we'll drop the cordwood cars in the runaround, and then I'll hook up from the main. So I'll go park there.
Right, it's either that or then you have to come into this and take them out yourself.
Yeah, doesn't make a bit of difference, but it's safe. You know, you're going over to the head shunt anyways. We might as well have you bring the cars over and save some wear and tear.
Or we push them.
Well, that's also an option. That's
so let's I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna throw them.
Oh yeah, you could definitely kick him. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'll
kicking.
Kick them out
I want to do some kicking. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Betsy's low on the old gasoline.
You gotta save it. Gotta go get some more.
Save it. I mean, not really. Betsy's honestly
she just doesn't have any capacity.
It's pretty funny how long these yard operations take now when you actually do stuff. Dunk. Okay,
right.
We're good.
The age-old saying that I've heard when you're actually doing switching is that every move is 15 minutes at least.
Really?
So okay, we gotta go into that siding and grab that car, untie the brake, everything. It's 15 minutes, and that rings pretty true. So you even moving just a handful of cars, even putting around the museum where we don't have that much track or anything. Yeah, it's a lot of time, but it's really interesting and it's kind of engaging because you're not just like, okay, I'm not just plodding along. Or you're not just set in your ways and doing the thing as you go down the railroad. You have to be really on your toes and be like, okay, well, how do I handle these cars as gentle as I can? How do I do a good job? So, incoming, you're kicking. I don't see you or the cars yet. Oh, there they are. Are you kicking them in groups?
Yeah, well, I accidentally went down the wrong line, so you're getting 3 at a time. Then
I see. I see. That's fine. All right.
Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
You left the brakes off on these, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They are brakeless, sir. They are.
How unsecured is it? They're rolling.
But you know, we're going for it.
Well, kicking cars. I mean, you probably wouldn't do a kick like this. This is a pretty far kick, but a lot of railroads do still kick cars. And actually, like that, I did that video about the hump yard and what they do at the hump and everything. And people always ask, "Well,
put Montezuma?"
It's over here on the main.
Oh, we're gonna kick all the way up to the main.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Oh, I guess I guess we could have just done that right here. That would have been a lot
no, it doesn't.
smarter.
Six of one
Whatever.
and half a
It
dozen the other.
works.
Is that what it
We're railroading. Yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen the other. No, but this has got a link in it. No! We're double linked. Okay, back up. Yeah, okay, good. Now
I
shove.
feel like those ones have a break on them, actually. That's
Oh,
the issue.
yeah, that would seem
They
to be
stopped.
true.
I'll keep pushing.
Yeah, push, mush. Okay,
Oh, Betsy came off the rail there for a second.
it's fine.
All right, now you're good.
We'll give you a little cup for that one. Just a little baby cup. Okay,
All right,
and
I'm gonna really quickly throw out an engine shed here off the turntable just so I can store Betsy.
Okay,
Which is
okay.
unfortunate.
And now I'm going to chase these cars down.
And then I'll teleport back up once you can get back onto the main line and go back up to the freight tube, and I'll meet you somewhere.
Sounds good.
Remember, you're gonna have a sawmill switch to throw, but I might be able to beat you there depending on what happens. So we'll see. But I figure we should at least get an engine shed here. This is really starting to feel more like an industry. It's got like fuel depot, it's got water, it's got a telegram station.
We got
like,
amenities, man.
Yeah, it's got things, dude. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, get out of here, you stupid Zuma.
There you go. That's my Montezuma impression.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's very, very high pitched. It's a
Yeah.
little toy trainy, but it's probably comparable to what it really would
I
have had.
heard Japanese trains only make anime sounds. Is that true? Is that
Can neither confirm nor deny, sir.
every like Japanese steam locomotive makes an anime sound instead of Now, of course, here's the $1 million question: can you link track to? Oh, you can link track to turntable position. That's interesting.
Oh, that's nice.
Or at least maybe it's only linking to the straight part there. I'm not sure. That is
Engine
very,
shed.
very-
You put the engine shed down, and you're always like, "Oh yeah, that thing's huge."
Yeah, it's massive, dude. But then you realize you put a couple engines in, and you're like, okay, it's not that bad.
Right. I mean, if it's a building that can fit a locomotive in it, it's got to be pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the funny things, if you ever come visit us at the Colorado Railroad Museum, one of the funny things you'll see is that we had to extend the first stall for 491 because she didn't fit. When they built the shop, we didn't own 491. It was owned by a different historical society, and they just displayed it at the museum. And then we ended up taking ownership back in like 2013 or 2014. And we went and test fit it, and it's like, nope, misses it by that much. It's like 3 feet too long, like a meter too long. And so they...
That's just so you can actually close the doors. Like,
right,
on
you
it.
can't close the doors. It didn't fit inside. So they put a roll-up door on the back. They knocked out the brick wall, put a roll-up door up. And eventually they added a structure on the back. But the first year for Polar Express that we had to have the engine inside, because the first year of Polar Express we did, she had to sit outside in 2014 because she didn't fit. And you didn't want to asphyxiate everyone, and the smoke jack didn't work and all this stuff. It's looking nice down there.
Dude, you can link track. You can move you can move round table to a specific any spot you want, and then link a track to the end of it.
Oh, that's
at
neat.
that spot.
That's a cool
You know
feature. I
how
didn't
you know how
realize
much of
that.
a pain in the butt it was to line up tracks.
That used to
beforehand?
be so painful. That is a
on round
huge
table? It's
update.
actually
Yeah.
amazing. I did this in 30 seconds. Just throw the shed down, link 2 tracks, boom, done. That's actually crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah.
This shed is very full of grass, by the way, just because of the way the grass.
No,
grew.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's still gonna work.
Well,
I'm
I'll
just-
send some Roundup and take care
Yeah,
of it.
we
Spray the
need a
weeds.
lawnmower ASAP over here.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
The second year we did Polar, we didn't have the shed basically tacked on the end. We just had the roll-up door, and 491 was just long enough that you'd back her with the doors, both doors open. You'd back her into the shop, and then you'd close the front roundhouse doors, and you'd just ever so slowly just bump into them with the knuckle of the front of the engine. You'd slowly move it forwards till it touched the front doors, and then and only then was she long enough that you could shut the roll-up door and it would come down behind the tender tank on the end sill. And so you just have this giant knuckle coupler and the butt of the tender sticking out underneath the door. It's like, really? We couldn't get 3 more feet? Come on.
Oh, this is starting to look like an industry. We got another engine shed here. Got space for 2 more engines, or a bunch more engines, but obviously we'll have a shunting engine. We got a log depot runoff. We got the hoppers set up. Where are you? Heis is somewhere up there.
I
You're
am
on
up the
bridge.
2%. Yeah, I've just passed the bridge.
Interesting. So I'm going to go to the sawmill and throw some switches for you.
Sounds good.
I think you're set up to go here, past the sawmill. Oh, yeah, we got a train coming down on the main line in about 35 seconds. Gonna need you to throw those switches.
Yep. That's how that works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
It's a good radio impression. Sound pretty good. Yeah.
Actually, it would be like beep, 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 beep,
Yeah, pretty much. Beep 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 beep. Yep.
beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. That was the guy ripping the paper for the next.
I appreciate the dedication to the sound effects here. It's important.
Yeah, we're on a high budget production here. It's very, very high budget. This is perfect. This is great. I love these telegraph houses, man. They've really changed.
I cannot believe how much of an impact they had. Like, I knew it was going to be nice knowing, like, okay, well, I can leave an engine somewhere. I don't have to start from the freight depot every time. Or if my game crashes 17 times, you know, you could just teleport and start over, which is just so nice.
It's so nice to, like, you know, like Betsy's at the smelter. We'll have the helper engines there. We'll have a couple. We got to get another 060 to be the smelter or something. Like
or a better helper engine and then move the 060. And
have a Shay be the yard engine at the smelter. The poor guy who has to work the smelter has to deal with the Shay.
Just so slow. I've heard it's so painfully slow.
It'll push though. It'll work. Like.
That's probably the engine that you should make me switch with, because you can outrun it, and then I wouldn't send the train running away. Because you can just catch it.
So the Porter has 2,800 pounds of tractive effort. Same with the Porter 2. I mean, it's not much of anything. The Shay, 5,896 pounds of tractive effort.
That's really not that much.
Montezuma has only 3,600 pounds. So the Shay is still, you know, strong enough to be a good shunting engine.
It should. It's kind of ridiculous that it's a geared engine and that's how little power it has, but it's itty bitty.
Kind of looks like I built it in my garage. I'm just
that's pretty accurate for a T-boiler Shay, like some dude built it in the garage kind of vibe. Like that is the feel. Well, perfect. We're heading back to the freight depot. I don't know. We didn't check how much iron we had. Oh, we didn't. We just kind of sent it. You can teleport back.
Warp there.
Yeah. Go look. Report back shortly there, sir.
Dude, actually, we got stacks.
We got stacks on stacks?
We're out of cordwood again already.
Surprising.
Dude, this thing sucks back cordwood.
It just eats the cordwood. Do we have any iron in the pile left?
The pile is very small. I feel like we do, though. Let me check the station here. We have 2 out of 1,000.
Okay, so we've used up all the cordwood already.
Yeah, we've used all the cord. Dude, the smelter's hungry. It is a hungry
Well, when
machine.
you're trying to smelt iron and, like, actually refine iron using wood as your fuel source. Yeah, I wish it was upgradable so that you could bring coal.
We have 48 rails.
Oh, wow, that's almost 5 cars, isn't it?
Iron beams.
Is it 10 or 20 rails to a car? I can't remember.
I think it's 10.
Yeah, so, wow. So that's 5 cars with the rails, and
I think it's what, 3 raw iron per car?
3, yeah. So we're about to make some cash, man. That's exciting.
Okay, so we could fill up. We could fill up like just raw iron. We have 24 raw iron. We could do a train of just raw iron, and that would be.
My goodness.
That would be the full set of cars.
That would be outstanding. I think that's a good idea for next episode, and put Montezuma on its knees and make it beg.
Yeah. The smelter works the same as the logging camp, right? Like if we, or the sawmill, if we fill up all the cars, like all of one industry, they can fill up all the rails, it'll just produce more raw iron with the products. Like it's still okay. So that's good. So there's no risk of us taking only the one resource and not the other then, basically.
Yeah, we can grab whichever. I think rails are more dense money per car, but I think they're also heavier. I don't remember.
Okay, well.
We'll find out.
Anyway, yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm already back at the freight depot. No big
I'm
deal.
pulling into the shunt lane right now.
All right, perfect. Park those cordwood cars somewhere so we don't have to deal with them. Preferably not in the same lane as all the other cars like I did last time.
Well, it's right fine. I'm on the main, so I mean, it's fine. We can just make the other track the main now.
No longer the main.
It's fine. We're just fouling things up. But Montezuma's going to be the next engine over the road anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. And we still got more open tracks, so that'll do that.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, we got to get more iron and then get more engines. I didn't do the check. I have $1,900 now.
Ooh, getting close.
Close there. One full train of raw iron might be enough to do it to get us to the point of 3,100 to buy the Glenbrook properly, right?
Dude, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, we should be able to get there.
But yeah, make sure you guys, of course, like, subscribe, check out Heis's channel, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.